Hi guys, working on the Cadillac a little bit today. Try not to let it get overwhelming on me. So I gotta look at some stuff I got done already and go from here. It's just a process, right? So things can get a little overwhelming, especially when you got a tiny little brain like I do. So where am I at? Let's see. I got this all painted up, the cowl up front. Now inside there's still rust in there and stuff. And there's obvious, from what I could tell, when it sat outside on the trailer in the rain, water comes in through here somehow. So I'm not sure how to address that. I'm thinking there's a stuff called through the roof, and it's like a gelatinous silicone goo that I think I'll pour in there and then just let it ooze its way down and do its thing. Hopefully it goes to the low points where the leak would be, I would imagine. Other than that, I'm not sure what to do with that other than tear the whole thing apart, which I'm not doing that on this car. I've got this C-pillar pretty much welded up. I think that's welded about good enough. I'm going to grind this off and we're going to get a layer of Duraglass or Dynaglass, the fiber infused body filler on here and get it so it strengthens it up. It's pretty strong now. I mean, I don't think any of this is falling apart. Now, just as I roll around the corner though, I've got this mess still. And I think I'm going to weld this up some more, and I'm probably going to put some Duraglass on there, but kind of like a smear of it. I got to clean this all up nice and clean, get it so it's not going to rust out again. And then the rest of this, I guess what I'm going to do is wire wheel all that off and put rust converter on it. None of it's through, it's just got like a surface rust. The other side has a hole, which I'll patch, it's not a big deal. But the rest of it, I just got to clean it all up good, put some rust converter on. But I mean, if it keeps it from rusting, I'm happy. The next thing we got to do is, I'm probably going to lift the car up. I got it on the lift, so that's handy. I got to patch this hole down here, but that shouldn't be too big a deal. Well, time to get grinding on. I did a little bit more welding, and now I got to do some grinding. I got to try to grind this off nice and smooth and clean. Let's see what happens. It's time to change this pad. I've had these pads for years, and this one I was just using. You can see how it's getting all around the edge. It's all beat up. It's still got some good surface here, but you never get to use that. It just don't seem to. This is a new pad. Now these pads are quite old actually. I've had them for a lot of years. As long as you store them good. I've had them in a cabinet, and they haven't got a lot of humidity, hasn't gotten to them, so I think they're going to work out okay. So I'm going to throw this one on and let's see how we do. See if it makes much of a difference. I'm pretty sure it's gonna. Push my little mandrel lock here. Okay, I got it on there pretty snug. It self-tightens too. I mean, you don't want to put it on just loose. You do want to have it on there, but they do self-tighten. See. Okay guys, I don't think this is too bad. I think I'm going to live with this. My welds aren't perfect. They're kind of gobby and a little bit goofed up, but once you grind them off they look pretty good. There's like probably one spot here where it looks like it ought to, you know. The rest of it, this is sub, which is okay for me. This was a rot hole. I sort of welded that in. I'm going to dink that down a little bit so that when I fill it, it'll just get filled with the Dynaglass. I'm not going to go crazy with this. A lot of this is sub. You know, this whole weld, this whole patch is a little bit sub, so it's going to get fill. And I don't want the fill to break right here on that seam. I want to have it come up to about here or so before when I sand it out, before I start seeing metal. So I'm going to go around with the hammer. I'm going to make sure I don't have any high spots, because I don't want high spots popping up under the fill. Because once you hit a high spot in metal, you're done. You know, you can keep sanding, and what you're gonna have is you're gonna have a bump there because the metal's not gonna sand down, the putty's gonna sand down, and it's gonna be an uneven spot. So we don't want that. This whole thing gets filled in, the old factory seam. It used to have lead in it and other stuff. I gotta finish cleaning it out a little bit better. Looks like there's some junk still here even after I did all that grinding. Probably what I'll do, like to get this dark spot here, I'll get that with the wire wheel because it'll get in there and clean that all out. So we'll clean it out good, and then we're gonna put some Dynaglass on it. This, like this too, I gotta get that all cleaned out. I wanna get rid of all that rusty crap. So I'll blend this out a little bit further and clean that out with the wire wheel. And just grind it off a little cleaner here. It's got a little surface flash on. I'll get rid of all that. This is 36 grit I've been using on that, and that puts some bite on there. That Dynaglass is gonna grab onto that like just crazy. Okay, it's all about keeping my goals in sight and having realistic goals for realistic projects. And this project right here, now this is obviously I like the car, but it's never gonna be worth a fortune no matter what I do to it. It's not like, so I gotta be careful about spending time, money, effort on this old car. Now, so far I think I'm doing pretty good. I've got that patched up. I got this all ground off nice. I wanted to show you guys this. I got my body lines pretty decent there, so it won't be hard to shape up, I think. I think that'll look good. But now we're getting into where I'm cleaning up around other places. We've got rust coming from this side. And this spot here, that's rust coming from the back side. This is rust on this side, right above the chrome strip. And then I got this here, which seems to be mostly surface rust, which I can probably deal with. That hole doesn't scare me at all. This hole's more scary because it's right behind the chrome. So, obviously the rust goes right all the way underneath the chrome. It's just so much work pulling this chrome off. If I pull the chrome off and keep the chrome off, well, then I'm gonna have a bunch of holes I gotta fill, and then I weld them, and in this big flat panel, you know, I'm gonna weld it and get a divot or it's gonna make a distortion from the heat, and then I gotta fix that and putty, oh my gosh. Anyway, I've taken chrome off things before. It's not easy because you gotta fill all the holes and do all that. Now, somebody with more skill, maybe it's an easy thing. Me, not so much. Now, I've got this mess under the trunk. And I got looking at the trunk lid too. It looks like it's about ready to blow out all the way around. Like, it looks like it's gonna rust. It's already gone here. I mean, it's already, that's 2 pieces now. And through here, it's rusting out pretty bad too. I think what I'm gonna do is treat that. I'm not gonna do anything else on this trunk lid except for looking for a better trunk lid. Because I'm sure somewhere in the world is a better trunk lid for this car than this rusted. Look at that, it's junk. I've got this mess. How am I gonna rebuild all this? This looks like a nightmare. I mean, that's tough to rebuild. There's so many angles. So it comes down off here with a curve and a swoop, and then it goes down straight, and then it goes over this way, and then drops again and goes into a channel. Wow. Do I go looking around other cars, see if I can find a chunk that's like that, cut it out and patch it in? Maybe just find this part of it, you know? Cut it out of a scrap car somewhere and section that in, or do I just build it? Not really sure. At this point, my main goal, really, on this car is to make it a driver. This here, we got to make the trunk watertight, so that's another thing I got to do. And then on the other corner, there's holes that I got to get to that we got to patch and make it watertight there too. This part's all surface rust, and you can see the lips rusted away, it's corroded away. So I'm thinking what I'm going to do is wire wheel this all off and then treat that up, and then we'll spray some good paint on it. This part here is not too bad. And up around the top, it's a little shaky, but it's not horrible. I really don't want to have to rebuild this. Well, I could always do this sometime in the future too. I mean, it's if I treat it up good and get it so it stays and it's stable, for now, that would make me happy. I guess that's the main point. I just want to stabilize this car. I want to stabilize it, make it look good, make it a driver, have a little fun driving it around. I don't know, maybe if somebody wants it, they can buy it off me someday down the road. We'll have to see. But right now, I guess I got to figure out what I'm going to do with this. So I'm probably going to go outside, look around at what I got, see if I got something I could, you know, section and weld in there. I wound up taking this piece of chrome off. This chrome is a nice, perfect piece too. It's really nice. It's I didn't destroy it taking it off, oddly. Basically, it's held any place that's held blind. that you can't get to from the backside, like these two were screws. And I was able to take them off. They're nuts on a stud, basically. So I took them off. This one was a barrel snap. This is a rotted off barrel snap. These two were barrel snaps, so that's probably what happened. You push them in, it knocks the chips the paint off, and bingo, now you got that. Same thing up here. Got a little Bondo here, somebody was here before. Barrel snap, it's rotted off. And I think that's probably what caused that rot. If I go all the way around and de-chrome this thing, I don't know. I guess it'll look good. Maybe I'll just take the chrome off where I have to, and then fix the rust, fix the paint, and go from there. But I'm just not sure what to do at this point. I guess I'll just keep going the way I am, and then see what I wind up doing. It's like I don't even know what I'm going to do. My plans are changing by the second. And this, I'm going to leave this for now because I'm going to see what I can find at the junkyard. If I can find a chunk that I can weld in there, I'm going to do that. I don't have anything around here. Okay, looks like I got it marked out. I'm just going to cut this out kind of square. And then I'm going to peel it off and bring it all the way down. And if I can, I'll use this for a pattern. And if I can't, I'll just have to wing it. Okay, so I got this patch cut out, or I should say the rotten pieces cut out. And it looks like most of this stuff's pretty solid. This inner is not too bad. Every time I tap it, rust and junk falls out. It's not too bad, but you see what I got here? I have a chisel, and I started working on it to spread it apart because the outer piece slaps down over this piece, and then they spot welded it. You can see there's a spot weld there, somewhere's in here. So I want to get these two pieces apart so I can put my new piece in. And in the meantime, I can clean this all up and sandblast it and spray something protective on it. Try to get it to last. So I'm just going to try to get rid of these spot welds. Once I get rid of this stuff, I can go ahead and grind it off smooth. Alright guys, well, you can never be careful enough with these tools. I just caught right into here, and I just spun it back. And that little flapper there caught me in the arm. So that's what you call education. I should have been wearing the leather welding jacket. That would have been a little smarter. Well, that's about 3 hours of monkeying around with sheet metal. What do you think, Connor?
How's it look?
I think it looks good. I think it's going to work. I got it fit up pretty decent. It ain't bad.
Yeah, you just got to bend that.
I got to push this back when I weld it. Got to fill that hole.
Well, if it fits like that now, it's going to want to pull on. If you weld that first and then pull that out, it's going to want to push that in.
Right. So I got to watch out for that.
Yes, you do. Wow, your skirt fits.
The skirt fits.
That's the important part.
It's actually tighter up on this end. I might have to adjust that a little bit.
Yeah.
This actually could go up, but that's the skirt. You see that?
Yeah.
That's up here. There's a bigger gap. It could be the mount is off a little bit. No, I don't think these are original. They're in too good a shape. Well, let me pull that skirt off. We'll take a look at what I made here. Well, it took me quite a while, but I did get this all done. I pulled the skirt off, and I got to do a little grinding here just to clean that up. I welded it from the back side, tacked it a couple places just to hold it, but I think that looks pretty good. I think that's going to work. I have to pull this out, weld it up, but first what I'm going to do is treat all this rusty spots, especially the stuff that I want to weld patches over. I got little patches made for this. We're going to build a new lip. I also got this on the door, which is a mess. So I'm going to clean this out a little bit better. And then I think I'm going to spray it with Rustzilla. We'll see what that does for it. If it makes it that black, inert, does what it's supposed to do. It's kind of funny because it's the inner skin that rotted, not the outer. The outer's fine. It's in great shape. But the inner is a disaster. So, well, what's going to happen here is I'm going to treat it and putty it shut, make it look good. And it'll last for quite a while. This is Rustzilla. I couldn't find much about it online, so I'm going to try it out. We'll see what it does. Okay, so I put this Rustzilla in this old hand sprayer bottle. We're going to see what happens. It's pretty liquidy stuff, and there's little chunks in it, so I strained it. I don't know what the little chunks were. Wow, a whole bunch of little chunks. It's like a little gob of junk there. Hope it doesn't need it, because I strained it out. So I'm going to spray a little up here on the wheel well. Oh, it is like water. Gotta get it so it's misty. I don't know. You know what? The stuff's kind of pricey. It's like 40 bucks for that quart. Do it that way, I guess. See what it does there. And I got this rusty spot here. Stuff's running right off. I don't know. Ooh, it's turning it already though. Wow, really fast. Oh, I don't remember what I'm supposed to do. I think I'm supposed to spray it on and keep it wet for a couple minutes. I don't think there's any different than the Permatex Rust Extender or the that other stuff I was using. It's just thinner and I can spray it through the bottle. And I think what I do, I use a brush along with it so I can get it on there, but it's turning stuff black. I mean, it's turning the rust black. It is doing what it's supposed to do, but I think it's the same stuff. I think a quart of it being 42 bucks, I think, or whatever it was I paid plus shipping. I got free shipping because I had a coupon. But all that to say, I don't think it's any different than the other stuff. I mean, it's working. You got to keep it wet for 15 to 20 minutes. It gets a uniform color, but I think it's working. But I think it's the same kind of stuff that'll leave an acid film if you don't rinse it off. You know, and that can mess with your clear coat or whatever you're putting over top. And if you're putting putty on top, the putty won't harden. It'll stay gummy by the acid. Nobody wants that. So, all that to say, not sure this is the best stuff if you're going to try to do it and not rinse it off. I don't think there's an easy way out with this stuff. I think you got to rinse it off. That's all there is to it. We'll try asphalt. That stuff's supposed to work good too. I got some coming in. All right. Well, looks like a day. If you guys like this content, go ahead and subscribe, share it with your friends, like it, share it, and what else? Oh, ring the bell. We'll see you on the next one.